This presentation is brought to you by Smoooth Productions.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Smoooth Conversations, where the conversations are always smooth. It is your boy Smoooth, and that is with 3 O's. We are back inside of Beat District radio station, doing it one more again. Shouts out to the host, the guest from last week, Good Brotherlism. Amazing conversation I had with him right inside this room. 2 grown men having great conversations, just speaking about life, our career, fatherhood, the whole nine. It was amazing. For those who checked it out, I appreciate it. If you didn't, make sure y'all go ahead and scan the QR code right now on the top right of your screen and connect with any and all things related to Smoooth Productions. Go ahead right now, and also go on YouTube if you're not there already, and go to Smoooth Conversations. Once again, Smoooth with 3 O's. Subscribe and click on that bell. You can also listen in every Thursday, no matter if it's a live show like it is right now, or the best of Smoooth Conversations by going to beatdistrictradio.com or download the app, Google Play, and the App Store. Once again, just put in KBDR Beat District Radio on the App Store, and it's amazing app, high definition. Every voice sounds sexy, sounds amazing, crystal clear. Get it in. Speaking of Beat District Radio, we've been doing this thing since March, the only Black-owned internet radio station holding it down right here in St. Louis, from the heart of Ferguson. Being inside of Gamers Island. If you don't know about Gamers Island, what you doing? What's going on with y'all? But yes, if you want to have an ad where we can promote your business, whatever you're doing, or if you want to sponsor maybe Smoooth Conversations or one of the many amazing shows that we have right here at KBDR Beat District Radio, just email us info@beatdistrictradio.com. Once again, info@beatdistrictradio.com. So once again, sponsorships, you want to sponsor Smoooth Conversations. Just for instance, just imagine if you have like your own clothing business. I could be like, this show is brought to you by, there we go, your name. So info@beatdistrictradio.com. So once again, go ahead, like, share this stream right now. No matter how you watching it, share it, let everyone know. And if you're listening on the app, Beat District Radio, share that right now to your people. Say, hey, tune in because Smoooth has an amazing show. For those watching for the first time and wondering, who are you, Smoooth? Well, I'm glad y'all asked. I am a professional DJ, MC, host, content creator, do productions. Anything about productions, think of Smoooth with 3 O's. Y'all need some merch done, like some shirts like this right here, some caps, some apparel done. I got y'all. Also, y'all need some photography, videography, some drone services, all that. I got you, and it will be done in the smoothest way possible. So once again, scan the QR code for those watching right now on the top right of your screen and connect with yours truly. For those listening right now on beatdistrictradio.com or on the app, just go to smoothproductions.com. Once again, Smoooth with 3 O's. Now, I know y'all not just here to see me and hear my amazing smooth voice, but tonight on this show, I've reached out to this young lady back in February, and yes, it is October, new month, but she was gracious enough to still be available to be on this show. She can't remember where or how we know each other, but I'm gonna break that down when I bring her on the show. But she is a dynamic soul goddess from the STL. Very special talent. She has done amazing performances across festivals live TV showcases. I'm sure that y'all have seen her plenty of times, and she will always take your breath away with how she holds things down when the mic is in her hand. But we on Smoooth Conversations, so we're not going to just talk about what you do on the stage, because this show is all about getting stories told. Because I want to focus on inspiring others, and you just never know what someone goes through until we talk about it, and that's what this show is all about. So outside of the stage, this woman is a wife and a very proud mother as well, and I'm honored to have her on Smoooth Conversations, the one, the only Drea Vocalz. What's happening?
What's up?
Man.
That was amazing.
Amazing
Introduction.
Thank you. And it is a pleasure to have you on the show. Bam. There we go. Now y'all see us together. She in the studio. We here. And how has your day been?
My day has been good. It's hot for October 2nd. I'm not like feeling that at all. Like
Man,
being in that cusp. But other than that, the day has been amazing.
It was crazy. I mean, 2025, we'll get to that in a second, but just this weather, it's like it rained for like 3 weeks straight.
Yeah.
Then it want to get hot, 100-degree weather for like the next 3 weeks.
Right.
Then there was a period last month where we like, oh, some nice fall weather. You know, it was like
just
70 degrees.
It was like real nice. Yeah.
And so I'm like, let's go. Let's get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then turn around the next week back to 100 degrees.
Yeah, I just started putting my summer stuff in the tote, so now it's confusing.
I can't even try it right now.
Yeah.
I can't do it until I see some snow.
Yeah. Oh well, you be waiting to January.
Man, I'm just saying some freezing weather. I mean, I don't want it right now. I'm just saying it's hard to say, okay, now it's time to move on to the next season, because it could be spring 1 minute, summer the next minute.
Yeah.
Fall, we get all the seasons, man.
St. Louis,
Midwest, gotta love it.
Gotta love it. Gotta embrace it.
But as I said in the intro, man, thank you for being able to be available. I know you've been doing your thing, hustling, grinding, and just being the phenomenal talent that you are already. So thank you for being part of Smoooth Conversations.
Thank you for having me. Like, thank you for booking me in advance. I really appreciate that.
Yes. So once again, I need everyone right now, leave comments, leave questions, because if you leave a comment and I approve of it, she can see it on the screen and she can interact with you by looking at her own personal camera. So she got y'all. So interact. Do not be shy. This show is all about showing her love, giving her the flower that she deserves. Not about being on no pettiness, no shade room type stuff. No shade. But I'm just saying,
right.
You know, we just want to keep things real and be transparent, keep things 100 on Smoooth Conversations. So let's talk about how we know each other.
Okay.
So I can't recall how many years back it's been, but it was one particular time where I was DJing for Word Up.
Okay.
And it was we moved locations, and we was at the venue off of Natural Bridge and 70. It was called Lowe's.
In the county, over there by the it's a gas station.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was at the booth doing my thing, getting everyone going, like, you know, being smooth with 3 O's. But then you came up and he was like, "Hey, can you play?" I guess you had either a CD, no, probably was like a disc, a flash drive or something.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
And you were like, "Can you play track?" So I'm like, because I didn't really know who you were. I mean, I've heard of you, but I haven't heard you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So shouts out to Energy. You know, her and I started Word Up together.
Amazing. Yeah, I love Energy. She gave me my first award that I ever got for an artist. She gave it to me.
There we go. So you know, Word Up opened up a lot of doors and allowed me to connect with so many people like yourself. You know, so shouts out to the Word Up crew.
Yeah.
And so once again, you came up to the booth. We were doing our thing, and you know your songs played, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. She don't sing, she can sing.
Hey.
You know, you held it down. So I was like, that's what's up. So ever since then, you know, I've seen you do your thing, just seen you blossom, but that's how I knew of Drea Vocalz.
That's what's up. That was a while ago. I wonder what songs I was even singing then. Was I doing Hot Sauce?
Man, you know what? I ain't even gonna try to think of it because it's been like over almost 10 years ago.
It's been a long time ago. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So I ain't gonna try to mess up anything, but just know, people, that this woman here can hold a tune. So going back 2025, what would you say has been like your biggest takeaway thus far in regards to this year and what it has brought?
I've really just been getting into my flow as far as just like, I feel like this is the first year in a long time I've really understood that like when you're an artist, it's going to be all these like ups and downs, you know what I mean? And I feel like I already knew that. Like and then when I say ups and downs, I really mean like there's going to be times where like you got shows, you got stuff coming out, you're working on music, like things are like happening in that perspective. But then there are like down seasons where it's like, it's just kind of like, you just got to focus in on family. It's time to get your house together and time to, you know what I mean? Like you got to kind of like live a little just to even have something to develop or bring out. So I just been kind of like, my takeaway has just been to just like respect my seasons, respect my like autonomy, that there are times that I just need to recharge. I just did music at the intersection.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. But right now I just need to like, okay, like I've done so much this year. It's like a period of just like, what's next? Let me go back to the drawing board. But most importantly, like, let me like live and,
And we have witnessed this year, even from the jump, just some weird thing that has gone down in 2025. Some of the things have been like a tornado. My house was affected, not damaged all the way or destroyed. Like my house. I'm sorry, like my neighbor's house is right next to me and 2 doors down. Both those houses just.
Are you sick? Wow.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So like the tornado, it was a 314 day. Had my peoples over, we kicking it, and the power go out one time. Mind you, I'm DJing. We all downstairs kicking it in the TSC. Shouts out to the wifey if you're watching and listening. And power go out. Then it's like, whoa. But then it came right back on. So we think it's just thunderstorm.
Right.
Power go out again. It just stays off. Then my pops, my father-in-law, shouts out to him. He came downstairs like, hey, you may want to check on your neighbor because their house has been destroyed. I'm like,
Jeez.
What? So we go outside in the rain and we see like the very front of the house just crashed down, demolished. We like, wow. So the tornado basically, like, let's say this is the house and this is their house. The tornado just came right around our house. Like we got shingles off and a couple siding things, whatever. But their house was just caved in.
Wow.
And other houses in the area was affected too, but it could have been much worse for us.
Yeah.
So we had that going on. Then, of course, what was it, back in June? You had the tornado that hit the city.
Yeah, it was May 16th.
May. Yeah, there we go. That hit the city in an area that hasn't been hit by a tornado in over 50 years.
Yeah.
So it's like, then you got a CEO getting caught at a concert with a woman, with a woman who wasn't his wife. Just so many things going on that 2025 has brought, of course, the person in office.
Yeah.
That's a whole other story right there.
We don't need to talk about
Yeah. So with that being said, man, just talk about just having to see so many different things and us as a community having to go through so much adversity. Talk about that.
I mean, I think what's most important is just like continuing or if we haven't been continuing to start being like really gracious and kind to each other, like seriously, like through all of this, like just really checking in on people's mental state and trying to, we have to exchange, we have to talk to each other, get back to kind of really like community.
Yes.
And we're in community, but it doesn't have to take like catastrophe or, those things to be in it. And shout out to like all the people that are out here building community, we talked about Word Up, but there are many like organizations and open mics and things that bring people together that like allow people to release. I think the most important thing is that like through all of this, we're able to like release and like, allow life to happen the way it happens, but also just like not be stuck in the feeling of it, like that stuff is heavy. It's really, really heavy. You know, I wasn't directly affected by the tornado, but I know so many people that were, you know, and so even though it didn't like hit my house, it hit my heart, you know what I mean? And so that's what's important, just like us just, you know, being mindful that everybody's going through something and just trying to hold each other up through these times. These times are crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. So, you know, for those who have been dealing with, you know, the tornadoes or anything else that has been some adversity, you know, prayers up to you. Keep God first in your life. That's the biggest thing, because any kind of tragedy could easily take that thought of God is with you. You know, I mean, your mindset in your heart, and just, you know, your mindset can just go a whole different way. So it's very important, no matter if it's ups and downs, to continue to keep God first in all that we do. Especially, and this is something that I was, you know, that I learned in church and when I went to a Christian school during my younger years. But, you know, don't praise him or come to him when things are just down. Also, when everything's going right in the world, continue. You're
supposed to praise God all the time.
Exactly.
As long as you got breath in your body, you give him some praise, you know.
Exactly. Don't stop.
Don't stop.
Get it.
Yeah, for real. Raise the roof for the Lord.
Yeah. So once again, you talked about music at the intersection, and talk about that feeling of being on that stage for that event, but then also as a whole, and how important having festivals like this coming to St. Louis is for artists like yourself.
I mean, I think first of all, I'm still kind of like on that high of just it happening. Me and my band, my people, my team, my family, like we prepared for it. You know, we carved out the time and we dedicated, you know, weeks, about 2 months or 2.5 months to like rehearsal and just rehearsing that 45 minutes and trying to make it as good as possible. And we did it tired. We did it, you know, everybody's going through their own things, but I feel so accomplished by the dedication that I saw from the people that I work with more than anything, like my dedication. But, you know, everybody was just like all hands on deck. Let's get it. Like the moment wasn't just for me, it was for us all.
Yeah.
And so that made it really beautiful to just bring it, for it to be better than we even imagined. It was amazing. Like, it was hot. Oh, it was steamy. Sweating bullets, but it was amazing. The crowd was amazing. I feel like that was my best performance. I feel like
really,
I really do. Like, I feel like, and that feels like a good thing. Like, for that, my last thing to be my best. I really feel like I was free. I knew what I was doing. I knew my set. I knew, you know, I feel like we were all in sync. It was amazing. Like, I feel just really good about that. As far as the festival, I think it's important. And we talked a little bit before this, just about how, like, when people are from here and they're curators, you know what I mean? When you're actually ground here in the soil of St. Louis, and then you make something like Maddie, you know, shout out to Maddie and shout out to Kransberg for lifting that and activating that, so that local artists can have that shine along, like the superstars. I didn't get to meet Patty, but I felt like I was real close because I was on the bill. You know what I mean? That felt amazing. Or just to know that this very stage that I was on, you know, the Womack sisters came on later on. Like, that's an accomplishment. That feels good. And, you know, I hope that a lot of other artists get to experience that. And, you know, yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. I mean, so many artists was in town, you know, Common.
Yeah.
You know, just so many people that was in town doing amazing things. Then you had, you know, Frizz Fest. Then you had recently just had the Evolution Music Festival.
Fest, yep.
So just so many festivals. How important is it for St. Louis to be able to experience events like this? I
think it's very important because you're able to expand your palette. And I think that sometimes in St. Louis, there are groups of people that feel very stuck here. And I think it's important to have events that allow us to almost like go somewhere else, you know what I mean? To experience something different, experience like an artist we may never ever listen to. We would never got there ourselves, but like a festival allows you just all these different flavors and all these different people. And it's good to get that into your soul, you know what I mean? So you can, because it feels good. And when, especially us in St. Louis, I think when we have things that make us feel good, man, the city feels good.
Yeah.
You know.
So before we continue, I want to make sure that people can see your mouth. I'm gonna move this mic down just a little bit for you.
All right.
There we go.
Hey y'all, I'm talking for real. It's me.
Here we go. You gotta make sure we get all the right angles here. So just going back to once again performing recently at Maddie, the event. When you and your band, do y'all focus on, because you know there may be people who may not even know who you are. So is your mindset coming in like, you know what, let's start them off with some stuff that they already know and then bring in some originals? Like, what's your mindset going into doing a live event?
Honestly, I always go by the first thing is like, what kind of event is it? Like, what is the vibe? You know, music at the intersection is one thing that's real, that's live, that's like high energy, it's hot, but people are like, they ready to have fun. But it might be something where it's like, you know, I've also like played dinners where like people are, you know, they're enjoying the show, but they're also having dinner. And so my mindset is like, first of all, what is the setting? You know, what do we want to like lay out here? You know, if it's like, do we want to like romance them and we want like there are more couples present, so we want there to be a more romantic, you know, vibe? Or is this like, shoot, let's get to the like the Tina Turner, the hot sauce, the sweat, the like, let's dance? You know, I like to just, or is it for like Juneteenth? Should I do more songs that are, you know, that really convey the message of this moment? So I just go by, that's the first thing. It's just like, what is the mood here? And then from there, I really like to sing cover songs that I love, or that I really, really like enjoy. And so like, I won't even just do the most popular songs. I'll do stuff that people or may not even be very familiar with, but it fits the vibe. It feels good here. So yeah, that's how we really just go into it like that. We put it together, we take out stuff, we cut stuff if it ain't right. If it ain't right, it ain't right. But yeah, it's a cool process.
When's the last time that you did an event and you just went off the vibe of what you saw and you was like last minute, hey, let's cut this song and add this one instead?
Have I ever cut a song? Oh, you know what? I don't know when the last one was, but I know that one of my go-tos, if I really feel like it's off, and depending on the vibe, is I'll go to we'll cut and we'll go to like Call Tyrone. Ooh. Or something that's like crowd engaging. Yeah, something like that. Like, oh, they gonna re-engage them real quick. But yeah, so I can't remember the last one, but I know it's happened.
And I asked this because I used to be in the band when I was younger, back in early 2000s. Man, some of the best times, y'all, in life. But in regards to this music, you know what I'm saying, performances and everything. But I used to be in the band, the Immortal Soul era. I was a drummer. And then if I went on drums, I was the MC hype man. So like I would lead certain, you know, hip hop songs or whatever other kind of songs that we would do. So crowd engagement is always so important. Even me being a DJ, I want to find that way to make people feel like he recognizes that I'm here. So how important is it for you as a performer to make sure that you get that engagement as an artist?
I think you kind of hit it right on the head, because that's exactly what I do. I like to make people feel seen. I like for it, even if it's a big crowd, I'm going to look as far back as I can. Like, even if I can't make out your face, I see the top of your head. I want you to know I recognize that you're here, you know, and I really try to make sure that I look people in the eye and kind of just like, it's part of the experience. People feel good when you see them, you know, in the crowd, and they're like, oh snap. Or when you sing a certain part of a song and you like point to them, they're like, oh yeah, like, hey,
I see what you're doing.
Yeah, they love that. So and I love it. I love the response. So it's very important, because it's for them,
right?
The entertainment, it's an expression for me, but it's for them, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is their experience.
Yep, I feel that. So let's go ahead and take it all the way back.
All right.
So when will you say was that moment that you felt, you know what, I want to be a singer, I want to perform? Always. Really?
Since I was 5 years old, I used to tell my dad and my mom, my parents, I wanted to be a singer star. Like that's what I used to say. I was sing a star. And I always knew it's always been something in me that I just feel like I can't ignore. You know, I have many other talents that I like to utilize too, but there's something in me that always brings me right back to music. So forever, since the very beginning.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have to ask that that good old great St. Louis question. What high school did you go to?
Well, I graduated from Jennings, but I also went to Cahokia for a semester, and I went to Hazelwood Central for a semester. Yeah.
So how was that? You know, how did you feel as a youngster going from different schools, different experiences and everything? Did that mess with your mental at all, or is just something you just went with the flow? Because you know how you get connected with one spot, but then you got to leave, and you know your friends may be sad because you're going. Then you're going to different school, and the same thing going on again. So how was that for you, having to bounce around different schools?
I mean, I guess it was cool in the sense that I could like always kind of. And actually, I'm not going to even say that. That's not true. Like it was awkward. It was sometimes felt kind of weird just because, you know, like you said, you get to know people, then you move and you got to get to know other people. So I guess it kind of just made me really observative. Like I would watch to see the kinds of people that I even wanted to try to befriend, like before I even just dove into it, you know, which has like translated into my adult life. I'm very much like that, like kind of not, I wouldn't say, I mean, I guess selective. Yeah, selective. But, you know, who I call my friends is very like, there's a reason why I call them my friends, you know, or just like, you know, yeah.
So going back to you becoming a singer, performer, who were some artists that you were inspired by?
Well, currently, I think the most is like, obviously, or maybe it's not obvious, but Beyonce, just because I feel like her performance game is just like, how can you deny?
Right.
You know, so just like I do a lot of studying there, but as a kid, or just coming up, period, a lot of like Erykah Badu.
I can see that.
Yeah, a lot of Erykah Badu, and I say this all the time, but like it's the Erykah Badu, the Jill Scott, the whole package, the Lauryn Hill package, you know, India.Arie. But outside of that, like a lot of like oldies. I love Marvin Gaye. I love like Al Green, and I like Elvis. I like a lot of like music that's just like it's just timeless music. It just sounds so good. And then like in quartet music, and so but I guess my biggest influences were people like Aaliyah, Janet Jackson on the kind of like dance sing kind of note. And then vocally, I mean, I think vocally I'd say Aaliyah too, because I always like really admire her like very sweet tone, but she could kind of strengthen her voice. So you could hear it in her music where points where she would just like kind of go off a little bit. And I always loved that about her. So
that's what's up. That's what's up. Nice little array of talented artists. So with that being said, what is your thoughts in regards to the state of music, especially R&B right now?
I think R&B is doing okay right now. Honestly, I think we've had our slopes where it was like R&B is taking a hit, but I think right now I think people are getting back in tune with like love, like the core of R&B. Like I feel like we've had an era where everybody was just talking about like, you know, forget you, I don't want you, blah blah blah. You played me, blah blah blah. I don't know, but I feel like we're getting back into a era where people are talking about self-love and also talking about like being in love. I think it's good. I think we're in a good situation right now. I love like Chris Brown Residuals. You know, I really just think that's such a good song. I'm trying to think if there's anything else out right now that's like really just like hitting my ears. Like that's amazing.
Like that's it. Like,
that's it. That's that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think off the top, but yeah, I think it's doing pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was a period where it was a drought for a little while.
It was a drought.
And I had to blame artists like Trey Songz because, you know, you had the Mrs. To Your Girl vibe.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, yes, I used to always play as a DJ at the end of the night, I would always play But I Gotta Go Right Now. You know, I love songs like that. But then you come out with Mrs. To Your Girl. So it was like all these artists were coming out with music to try to steal your wife.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was very just like infidelity music.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
You know, bring back the big, you know, with the if I had one wish.
The rain.
You know,
where's the rain? You know what I mean?
New edition. Can you stand the rain? You know, all that. You know, we the ladies, fellas, artists, they need to feel that you really want them and love them and care for them and would do anything. Not to sing a song just to get into their panties. Yeah,
because you know what? A lot of women need that softening, like the softening of like a man being expressive. And I feel like with so much music, especially at that time, just that period where it was just kind of all very aggressive and all very like objective, you know, for women. I think it's just like it's good for women to hear music that makes them feel soft, that makes them like, it almost kind of makes them want to love men. You know what I mean? I don't think all men, I'd never have believed that, but like all men are like the same, or, you know, but I feel like when you hear stuff like that, I mean, and on the vice versa, because now it's a lot of like women doing the same thing.
Talk about it.
Like they don't even need men. Like they don't need, and when I say need men, I mean like, I feel like at some point, like I feel like the need a man thing, okay, nobody really needs somebody to stand on their 2 feet. You should be able to stand on your 2 feet, but to say like you don't need a man for anything,
right?
I've carried some heavy groceries, and I'm very, very thankful of any time there's like a young man that works at the store that's like, let me, you know what I mean, like, and just past that, but like, yeah, we do need each other, and love is important, you know, even if it's not like forever love, like to be in love intentionally is important, you know, and we got to continue to pass that down to like the kids that are listening to this music.
Right. And, you know, I am a DJ, but I will confess that, you know, I can't listen to every song out there in the world, but you just rarely hear current artists just use the word love.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. I
love you, love something. You know what I'm saying? So once again, that's important to bring that back, and don't change yourself trying to adjust to what's going on now. And then it is like, for me, prime example, Music Soul Child. His first 2-3 albums, oh my God, classics.
Yeah.
But then he came out with that one song, dun, 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 hit me on the radio. And it's like ever since then.
Oh yeah.
Ever since then,
I forgot about that.
He stopped doing the love, you know, and he started trying to do something different that wasn't his lane.
Yeah.
And I feel like he lost a lot of people like myself, because I was on it. You know what I'm saying? I just loved him, you know, the Neos, you know, back in the day, Tevin Campbell, you know, artists like them, you know, Jesse Powell, you know, I mean, I can go back and back. Like my favorite group, this might be controversial, but let me know in the comments for those who's watching, tuned in. But like my favorite group of all time is Drew Hill.
Okay. That's a good pick.
Love Drew Hill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm on the Boys to Men side.
Boys and like I said, it's nothing shade, nothing
Absolutely.
wrong. But it's just a personal preference, because I just rock with them so much more than any other, you know what I'm saying, act.
Were you also a Cisco fan once he did his thing? Yeah.
Yes. Incomplete.
Yeah.
Let's go. That's it. I was singing that song every karaoke opportunity I get.
Yeah. They've been talking about how he snapped at the end of like the thong song. They just like, he just went off. Like that was like, that song didn't even need that, but he brought it. Like yeah.
And I hate it because they were in town like last year or something, and at the amphitheater, and I couldn't go. But I hear that they're coming back maybe next year, so I had to make sure.
I think they make a round pretty often through St. Louis.
So I had to make sure that I'm in the building for Drew Hill. I mean, but shouts out to, once again, New Edition, the Jodeci's. I mean, just so many acts that I can't. We don't have enough time to try to go over all the acts.
We don't.
But just in regards to, that's the kind of music that a lot of people were born off of.
Yeah, true. Not for real. Thank you. Thank you to Drew Hill, because I'm pretty sure they had some kind of part.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. So going back to you wanting to be a singer, who helped you along the way to, you know, take you to classes, or, you know, you getting lessons, or, you know, who was there throughout that time to get you to where you wanted to be at?
I would say like my parents, my great grandma, just putting me in choir in church, but also just like, I know it must have been kind of hard for my parents to sit through all those like school choir concerts sometimes, but they did. They put me in like Coca, and I was in the St. Louis Children's Choir, so I'm classically trained. I did like different competitions, went to state competitions in high school and stuff like that. But I would say just like, I don't know, just like, who would I say like helped me along my way just growing up? I think honestly my family just constantly telling me like not to stop. Certain family members just really just being like, use my voice, and especially for the glory of God, and that, but also just I think, like I said, there's just that fire that's just in me that I feel like I can't ignore it. I've experienced the whole like, hey, we know you want to sing, but you need to think of something else more practical or realistic, and I've kind of done that dance as well with family, but I feel like there's always been, that's why it's so important, we talked about that, but just having a connection to God, to have being able to like listen to that internal voice that can only be a source from good. So I say God help me. Shout out to God too. Like God help me. And just people that really believed in my talent is just encouraging me over the years. It's like, man, you really got something. Keep going.
Yeah, and the sacrifices that like you said, your parents and others made to make sure that you were good.
Yeah,
that definitely had to set the tone, because without that, you may not be here right now. So, talk about that feeling of singing in church compared to maybe the singing a regular R&B or pop song.
It's just a different feeling. I feel like my voice when I sing gospel music is different. It doesn't even sound the same. Like the things I'm able to do, and not even just like able to do, but things subconsciously that happen when I sing gospel music, it's transcendent. It's different. I don't know. It's just different. Even if I'm feeling an R&B song, it's just something about when the spirit come on you, just like, yeah, it's just different. It's like, it's an out of body experience, which happens sometimes when I sing R&B music, depending on what I'm singing or what I'm performing. But yeah, like I love that. I love that there is a difference for sure.
And so I have to ask, has there been a moment singing at a regular event or whatever, performing, where you just got lost in your own music, singing a certain song that just touched you and you just had to have a moment to yourself, or people are just seeing you just like, yeah, I feel you?
Yeah. And you know what? I think it happens. It doesn't really happen where on those like songs on ballads. It happens like on a Proud Mary or something, where I'm like really like all my energy has to like go into this song, and I'm performing and I'm dancing and I'm twirling. And I feel like those are the times where something happens sometimes. Like I close my eyes and before I knew it, I didn't shook my head and all kind of stuff. Like I'm really just like immersed in the music. I think that it's that feeling happens when I get off the stage. Like I really have to like come down from, like I feel like shaky and I feel good, but I just feel like I just need like to breathe because what just happened, it's cool.
And I had to say for myself, I still play drums for my church. I don't play for my old band no more. I just strictly play for the Lord at church. And it's definitely, like you said earlier, just a different feeling.
It's a different feeling, yeah.
As much fun as I, would have fun with the Motor Soul era, shouts out to them, but just playing for the Lord and just letting them use me. I'll be doing things sometimes like, oh, I know I can do all that.
For real. When you let that vessel, hey, take over.
Well, it's such a great feeling. And my wife and I went to a what's the name? Lecrae concert a couple years ago. And I've known him, but that was like my beginning of knowing about Andy Mineo.
Okay.
And he had a lot of other artists that was there too. And when I say that concert, because it was pretty much like a gospel rap concert, but when I say a lot of them songs, probably all of them songs I heard was sounding much better than what I've heard on the radio
Mhm.
or whatever. I was like, my goodness. I
Yeah.
mean, you would think it was like a Drake song or a Future song,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
gospel and
Mhm.
people could relate to it.
Yeah, it's the feeling behind it.
Yeah. So like, oh, like man, even though I already knew already,
Mhm.
because as much as I love my music,
Mhm.
but like gospel music or gospel rap, there's nothing beating that.
Yeah, my husband actually, he makes like I'm not gonna say it's gospel rap, but he definitely like takes the perspective of just loving God and giving God glory in his music, which really inspires me a lot to do more of that in my music.
Yeah.
So I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is something that you do incorporate for your live shows are certain gospel songs at times.
Well, I mean, so for Maddie, I did. We wouldn't call it a gospel song, but I did do. I had a friend of mine, Maven Lee, open up with "Change Gonna Come."
Okay.
Yeah, he opened up with like the verse of Sam Cooke. I have not incorporated gospel music, but I do have times in songs that I talk about God, and I definitely have times like on the stage where I talk about God, because one of the things I like to tell people is to believe in themselves, believe in the source, to love themselves, because they're a creation. We're all unique, and those are things that I always kind of try to make sure that I say on stage, because some people need to hear that.
Yeah, most definitely. Once again, this is Smoooth Conversations, where the conversations are always smooth. Your boy Smoooth with 3 O's. My special guest we have
Drea Vocalz.
There we go, Drea Vocalz. We at KBDR Beat District Radio Station right now, holding things down in the heart of Ferguson, making it happen on Smoooth Conversations, where the conversations are always smooth. So, going back to school, the person that you are now and the person that you were when you were in school, if I was to ask someone that you know, that have known you since high school or grade school, what would they say about you?
I think they would say that I'm a lot of the same. Just my personality, just way more confident. I never was like a pushover. Like I didn't play no games in high school. You gotta go bully somebody to be bullied. You can't bully me, kind of thing. I think they would definitely say that. Yeah, I think that they would. I really truly think that they would say a lot of me is the exact same, outside of just like my confidence and just like who I've become. I finally became, and blossomed out. But yeah, I think they would say I'm still the same. I'm still goofy, and when I see people from high, we have a good time. Like I'm the person that's just like, I just want everybody to feel good. Like, yeah.
So, what did you do in high school in regards to outside of singing? Were you playing sports or anything, cheerleading? What did you do outside of possibly, taking a music class or singing?
I mean, well, I produced. I've been producing since I was like 11. So I produce, make, well, yes, outside of music, but I did like produce a lot of music, just from scratch. And I played volleyball for a while, which was cool. Yeah, I like volleyball a lot. I played basketball, and I was on a dance team.
Okay.
Trying to think, is there anything else? Oh, I did this thing called DECA. DECA is like a marketing club, and I was the president of the DECA club. So basically you go to competitions and you come up with like marketing ad presentations and whoever is the best. And so I did that too, which was like super cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what year did you leave Cahokia?
That was my freshman year. So yeah, like that was the second half of my freshman year. And then after that, I went to Jennings.
Okay. Jennings High School. All right. Well, Speaking of Jennings High School, sorry about that. Talk about this photo right here.
Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. Yeah. Same girl. Just same girl. Color, same hair color scheme. Look at that. Consistent. Yeah, that's one of my best friends. That's Raven. Yeah, she's probably like the friend I've probably known the longest. That's
what's up.
Yeah. We're still good friends to this day. I'll see her soon.
Hey.
Shout out to Raven, Ray Xavier. That's my girl.
What was the biggest takeaway you feel that you learned from Jennings High School?
Oh Lord. Woo! It's funny because our class reunion is actually coming up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the alumni. I don't know. stay focused. Yeah, stay focused on, on your dreams, stay focused on what you're doing. I had my few friends and I sang. Now that's the only thing I will say in high school. I was never shy to sing, but I kind of kept to myself. I was a teenage mom as well, like in high school. So like,
really?
Yeah, like I had my daughter, Zaya, she was born when I was 16. Wow. And then my son, Andrew, he was born when I was 18.
Wow.
Yeah. So like I finished with two kids, two little babies. So I didn't really have time for
I was gonna say,
that.
so yeah, talk about that because and I brought this up to previous guests on the show that I went to Bashan High School. And I came from a private Christian school. So when I say culture shock,
yeah,
it was a huge difference. And now, granted, my family, I've known about Bashan my whole life because my family went there. My mom went there, uncles, cousins, etc. So I've known about the school. Of course, they're known for basketball. So I was there all the time, but not there as a student.
Right.
And one of my biggest takeaways was like one of my first days there. And you walk in, first you had to go through the metal detectors. What high schools at the time had metal detectors outside of, the V?
Yeah.
So that was something. But then you go to the left, this long hallway, and it was a nursery.
Oh.
And I was like, wow. And it was like 14-year-old girls, 14 to 18-year-old girls that had kids already. And I was like, man,
when I was in middle school, when it was a girl that had a son, and that was the first time I had even seen something like that. She had just turned 13.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But I've seen her in the last like 3 years. They're doing good.
That's good.
Yeah, they're thriving.
And so that moment right there, not saying I had any, preconceived plans, but that moment right there was like, you know what? I'm going to make sure that I just focus on school and sports. And
it was just important. I think for myself, I lost my way just kind of grieving the divorce of my parents, and just how that goes with like when you have a broken home or you come from a broken home, sometimes you're just not in full understanding. You kind of get left somewhere in the middle in the abyss. And I think at the time I was just kind of just like wanting to be loved, I guess, whatever my perception of that was as a child. But also just like kind of not just being on a good place emotionally, which leaves you open for things like that to happen. What I can say out of is, those were some of the darkest times of my life, not because of my children, but just because of the situation. But what I can say that it definitely built me to be resilient and strong, and just like even just having that fuel that I had 2 kids that I have to look after. Like it altered my decisions. I can't just be out here wilding with y'all. I got stuff to do. I got to go to work. I got to go to school. I got to make something of myself. And that still motivates me to this day that there's a legacy that I just have to leave behind, because I'm in a way, I'm already a statistic, but I don't have to stay a statistic. I don't have to stay that way. I can be more than that, So yeah, my goals right now just really are just like building a legacy and showing my kids that people didn't think I could even come to this level, like having kids so young. So just showing them that you can, if you really want something and you can do right, and still like get the things that the desires of your heart, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
We got a comment from the Gold Giraffe. I love Drea Vocalz. You know who that is?
I do. I love you too. That's my husband.
There we go. Yeah. Shouts out to the hubby.
Big support. Hey.
Yeah.
You know Gold, don't you?
Yeah, but I haven't crossed paths with him in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, shouts out to him. You know what? Matter of fact, with that being said, let's talk about this photo right here.
Oh my goodness, you got some good ones. Hey, yes, that is a picture of the therapeutics, the OG therapeutics. I see Jamarco Rich, Lakes. Hey, look at Lakes with the scarf. My girl Lana J, she actually hit the stage with me at Maddie. She's so amazing. Jaleesa Renee, Josh Stanton, Kong, KP, Yeah, that's family right there.
Yeah. So yeah, when you see that, just talk about those moments and being around the therapeutics.
Honestly, man, I wouldn't trade that time of life. Like the good thing, the amazing thing is that we're all super tight. We don't see each other like we used to, but man, we're just like, that's my family. Like that era of the therapeutics when we were doing lyrical therapy every Sunday, and I think that stuff is what made me a better performer. I can't even deny it. And even just having that community, like I feel like we to this day we're all in this just like aligned understanding that we all got a purpose. We're gonna help each other out. We're gonna support each other. I got big love for the therapeutics. Yeah.
That's what's up, man. And going back to music at the intersection, talk about venues like Sophie's that's just doing so many things for the community. I know Biko, has turned the table. I know that you was having an event with Fluid, I believe.
Maven Lee, DJ Loverboy.
So talk about having venues like Sophie's that's there for the community, that is a safe space, and for people like artists like yourself to be able to just do your thing with your passion and have others see that.
Yeah, the beautiful thing about Sophie's is that they're a host to so many things, like so many vibes. Like you can go in there one day and it's just so different. Like in the day and the night, there's like tasting. It's just so cool. But I love Sophie's because I feel like it gives artists like this, and it's even though it's not just for artists, but it kind of gives us like a little place to call home. Like you can meet up at Sophie's and sit on the couch and rap a taste and talk, and or you can just meet up and have a good time. Like I have nothing but good memories in Sophie's. Sophie's is like the lounge we didn't even know we needed. Like it's great. The setup, the bartenders, the consistency of events. I've enjoyed hosting that. It's like one of my favorite jobs ever was hosting For Your Soul at Sophie's. So yeah.
That's what's up, man. And we brought up, of course, Word Up, and you just brought up lyrical therapy, but talk about going to spots like that, open mic venues where people can learn their trade, learn how to do this and grow and be better. Because that's what I seen with Word Up is the same people who were trying to get their feet wet are now out here doing tours, going across the country and doing what they love to do. So talk about that from your point of view.
Open mics are just important, just because it should be a safe place to express yourself. Even if you're not like an artist and you're like, well, okay, you're an artist, but you're not seeking to do this on that level. But it's just you just like writing. You like to play the sax. I just like to do this. It's a nice place to kind of get that community support. Fine tune your craft, and also just like, it's fun. You know what I mean? It's like it's nice that it's a different thing to do besides maybe like hitting the club or whatever. You can go to an open mic and kind of still get those kind of vibes, but it's a little more intimate. It's a little more intentional, and I think open mics are just so necessary for the growth. That's how you kind of. You don't know what kind of crowd you're going to get. You get a dead crowd on the open mic night. There's like, you get a few snaps and like, you just got to be satisfied with that. But it just kind of teaches you that like, sometimes your audience is going to be huge. Everybody going to love it. And sometimes it's going to be like, I don't know, I got to go back to the drawing board and come with something a little better or, changing my delivery.
And talk about that mindset as a performer, performing in front of thousands or a packed house to performing to maybe a lesser crowd that, it takes that extra jump to bring that energy that you want to bring, compared to seeing a huge crowd where you already like amp, like, oh yeah, this is it. But then you go out and you see maybe, a few handful of people. How do you feel about that? And what's your approach, your mindset?
My mindset is that this is still their show. This is still for them. Those 5 people, you'd be surprised. It's been times, when I first started, I remember performing for nobody. Like, it was just me and the few people I came with, but it was nobody there, and we still had to just push through to just like, okay, there's 20 people in the crowd. Now I got to figure out how to, and also I'll say this too, you got to be able to read the room. What is the mood of these people?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Are they more on a chill side? Because sometimes you can think you got to overcompensate because there's a lesser crowd or whatever, but no, my mindset is just to still give my best. You just never know who's in the room.
Exactly.
You never know like who's going to say, oh yeah, I saw, or who's going to take a video now in the world, the digital age, one person take a video of you, and if they put it at the right spot, that video can go crazy. And little do they know it was 3 people in the crowd, So I think my mindset is just give it your all regardless. Like, and that's how you get the fruit. You got to plant the seed, you're going to get the fruit. Yeah.
And speaking of videos, of course, we all seen this past week how Tish Haynes was at Broadway Oyster Bar and TLC appeared.
Yes. You know what I'm saying?
It changed her life forever now.
Changed her life forever. And I hadn't personally heard her until that point. Mm-hmm. But that's amazing. That's the kind of stuff that, like, I don't know how many people was in that crowd. It didn't look like it was like packed to the gills, but It looked like she was giving it her all regardless, you know? And that's why, it's good to just show up as your best, the best shit you can do, every time.
And I love asking this question for those who are faithful watchers of Smoooth Conversations. Y'all probably know where I'm going with this, but I love to ask my guest about this question. It's probably something that you were wanting to hold off on until we had the show going live now. But in your mindset, talk about the meaning, especially here in St. Louis, about collaboration versus competition.
Yeah, I was actually having a conversation about this. I think healthy competition is okay. However, I do think if it's not motivating you and you have, let me back up. So for women, I'm gonna start with women. I think for women, I feel like we can't afford to be in competition in St. Louis. There's not enough of us to like. It's very important that we collaborate, and if we are not collaborating, that we're lifting each other up. Like, are you familiar with like Lydia Caesar? Mm-hmm. I love Lydia Caesar as a person, as an artist, but one of the most profound things she could have done for me that I feel like has made me a better artist as a woman with my community is that she kind of like took my hand and just like when there was an opportunity that she couldn't do, like she'd be like, hey, I had this opportunity. I won't be able to do it. Are you free? Like just being like, hey, I can't do it, but it's a good opportunity. Right. Do you want to do it? Oh, it just planted a seed in me that was like, oh, that's so powerful, because it's what it said to me is that like, you see me as like, you don't see me as competition. You see me as like, we in this together. Because what that means is if I have an opportunity and I'm going to think of Lydia first, or I'm going to, or even just like, I just don't think women in this city can afford to be in competition. It's more important for us to build each other up because the industry is so male dominated anyway. And It's not us against guys. It
just is what it is.
Yeah, but we got to be strong in our community so that we can, we got to show up for each other and not gatekeep or be afraid to give advice or feel like, we're in some kind of like who sings better and who did. Honestly, I don't care about any of those things about who does this better, because I feel like we all do what we do and we do it how we do it, and then as far as just like collaboration period, it's just so important because cross marketing, this right now is a collaboration and it's important. That stuff is how you build community. That's how, I get my people to your people and your people to my people. Exactly. And so, the only way that we can really rise together is to stick together. So I think it's important.
Yeah, it definitely is. And that's why I love to ask that question, because you just get so many different viewpoints and talk about this crab in a barrel mentality that St. Louis has always been known to have. Mm-hmm. It just feel like we always continue to stop one another, except for like you see in Atlanta and other spots where you just keep on seeing so many different artists continue to expose Atlanta for the great come together. Mm-hmm. Just talk about that feeling that you feel like it's still missing here in St. Louis, and if so, what can artists like yourself and maybe DJs like myself, what do you feel that we could do better to bring us together more?
Well, I think the first thing is, and this is something that I used to do too. I used to always say that about St. Louis. It's crabs in a bucket. I don't like being here. I don't like da da da. I think the first thing is to change our language on how we view it, because it's not like that anymore. Like, there's been a renaissance in St. Louis. I feel probably in the last 10 years that has been really, like, there's been a shift. Like, people have the music that's coming out here. You know, you got your Smino, you know, and I can't think of the gospel artist right now, the rapper from here, but we got so many different people here that are coming together as collectives and are doing things now. And so I think the first thing is just changing our verbiage on that, but also just like, I guess just remembering that I'm sorry, can you repeat the other half of your question?
Oh, what's something that we can do as performers,
right,
to come together and shine a brighter light in regards to collaborating with one another?
I think that's it. Working together without the competition. Working together, like, in true, like, collaboration, supporting one another. Pull up to people's shows. You know, pull up to other people's shows. That you don't got to be doing nothing. Like, pull up, you know, support. That stuff goes a long way. Tag people, you know, don't be afraid to, like, okay, y'all in the same field, but if you see something dope and you gonna film it, tag it, you know, stuff like that. I think we can just be better by just, you know, just like kind of leaving that mentality behind that we're crabs in the bucket, because we're not. We've actually, I think, gotten over that in a lot of ways, you know.
So you brought up earlier how you being a woman in a male dominant field. Talk about your perspective of being a Black woman in your field, from what you've gone through back then when you first started to how it is now. Talk about the pressures of it. You know, how important your appearance may have to be, how you're seen, especially once again with you being a woman. You know, there's just different standards that you, especially as a Black woman, have to go through. So talk about that for those who may be watching and listening, who may be going down a similar path. They may be inspired by what you have gone through and what people can learn from you.
You know, I think I've gone through so many evolutions. Like, when I first started, anybody that's been with me since the beginning, you know, I had my locks. I had a more just, I guess they called it earthy, but I guess an earthier look. Even though I feel like I'm earthy all the time, but like, and I had my locks, and, you know, one of the best things about that is that, you know, I could easily tap into, like, you know, that side of me that is real neo soul, and it be really received. But it also kind of put me in a box with people where they could only see me a certain way, or in a certain genre, or in a certain environment, because of my hair and my appearance. And I'm a little darker skin. Well, I'm darker skin, and, you know, which is why I comb my locks out. But it wasn't because of the pressure. It wasn't any kind of pressure that they were putting on me. I just didn't want to be locked in to say that, like, you know, I look like I know, you know. I think one day somebody was, like, asking me about crystals, and I love crystals. Like, don't get me wrong, and I know about some, but I'm not a crystal guru just because I have
you
locks.
got locks, right?
You know what I'm saying? Or you know, you look like you write poetry. Sometimes
being typecast.
Yeah, and I didn't like that. You know, I didn't like that, and so now I feel like especially just like even something like my hair is like my liberation. Anybody that really knows me, I wear my hair all kind of ways. I do, and it's not like it's just to keep a piece of me that's like, it's random. I can be super hip hop one day, and then I could be super acoustic guitar the next day, and then I could be almost like rock and roll one day. You know what I mean? It just depends on my mood, and it's important for me as a woman to not be boxed in, which is why I do bossa nova music, which is why I incorporate different genres into my sets that people wouldn't expect. You know, I did like Hey Pachuco from The Mask. You know, The Mask movie where, you know, when they were dancing, him and Cameron Diaz. I did that at a show, and I never heard anybody do that at a show, but I did it because it was, first of all, it was hard. It was a challenge, but it's something different. And I think it's important as a Black woman that I show how versatile we are. We can do it all. We belong in all genres and all spaces. And it has nothing to do with color. It's just talent, what's there in the heart. So yeah.
And talk about, in regards to, once again, a Black woman, how men may try to take advantage because you are a Black woman.
I think that's just a thing with women, period. I think that just like in certain situations, men will try to take advantage of women, and I believe in a lot of situations that's not the case either. I just think that you just have to, first of all, just kind of protect yourself. Know, like, for instance, when I first started like recording in the actual studios, I didn't know like what reverb was. Like, I had been producing on my own computer and stuff like that. I didn't know what that, I didn't know how to convey what I wanted. Like, I'm like, I wanted to sound blah, 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 blah. And I feel like sometimes in those early sessions, I was taken advantage of because they gave me this little fluff for my money, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't really get what I came for. So because of that, I went to the Nelly School, graduated from there. So now I know how to mix. I know when it sounds right. I know when it's not. I understand the dB, and I understand, compression and EQ, and I'm there. I know how to convey what I want. And that gives me a sense of power, I guess, in the sense, as a woman, when I'm in the room with men who may feel like I don't, I'm a woman. What do I know about hooking up, this mic to, like I know exactly how this mic, is working, and I feel like something women can do is just like equip themselves with knowledge. Make sure that, you know what you know, so that you're able to do what it do and be gracious, continue to be gracious, even in those situations.
Yeah. That's what's up. Once again, this is Smoooth Conversations, where the conversations are always smooth. Got the one, the only Drea Vocalz in the KBDR Beat District radio station. We just talking life, man. Just really just enjoying this conversation. So keep on going back to school. So did you get a scholarship to go to college?
So I went to UMSL at first. My dad works for WashU, so I was able to get kind of like it wasn't a scholarship, but like kind of like a full ride, I guess, somewhat, as you could say. But I found out that like UMSL wasn't necessarily for me. I enjoyed it, but I feel like it was kind of steering me off my path of like what I'm doing now. But yeah, so I got my associate's degree in audio engineering and management at EI. Yeah.
So brought up UMSL. Let's talk about this photo right here.
Man, how are you doing this? This is wild. This was my first house warming. I must have been like 21, maybe 21. And like, yeah, had obviously, because there's like a big bowl of chips in the middle of their table and there's paper plates, and I'm sure there's like chicken somewhere. Yeah. So yeah, these was like my homies, and there's like my friend again, my best friend in there again, my friend Leslie's in there. Yeah, that was my first apartment. Well, yeah, my first real apartment. Yes.
So the reason why I show this picture, for of course, the college life, but of course I have a young man on the left side of the screen.
Justin.
He is my cousin.
What?
He's my cousin through marriage.
He is hilarious.
Yes.
He's really funny.
He hasn't changed.
So yeah. So his wife. Wait. So his wife is your cousin?
Yes.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, I've known Justin a long time. Yeah.
Yeah. So he may be tuned in. I sent him a link, so he might be tuned in right now.
Hey, shout out to Justin.
He did want me to tell you. Let's see. Let me pull it up real quick so I can get it, because he was. Let me see. This is live. Okay, he says, bet that, tell Drea I said what up. We used to kick it back in our UMSL days.
Man, yo,
So,
I wish I could remember. We used to have this really funny joke we used to do all the time. I can't. Oh, you know what? It was in reference to Trey Songz. Dang.
The wife leaving the comment.
Oh man, small world. Hey, for real. But yeah, shout out to all of them, yo. That's my homie. Justin was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you said it. So, what song was it about Trey Songz?
Oh, I think it was Love Faces, but it was something he used to do in the beginning of the song. We used to think was the most funniest. We used to think that we used to say it over and over again. I wish I could remember what he do at the beginning of the song, but just then, whenever you talk to him, bring that up about Love Faces. He's probably gonna be cracking up.
I got you. Yeah. So, once again, I know he's gonna tune in now, or he'll watch it later on and see the photos and be like, "No, he didn't."
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I had to because I didn't know until I was doing my research, and I'm like, "Oh, is that who I think that is?" It is him. So I had to make sure that I had that photo there. So
yeah, I had that big old fedora hat on. That was my fedora face. Woo, Lord.
Yeah. So. The college life. So yeah, man, we're talking about, you know, your life as a singer. So you recently was that a new album out?
Yeah, it's called Love in Brazil. It came out in January, so I've still been pushing it. I have some visuals out. I just put out a visual called Peekaboo 3 weeks ago. Definitely go check out Peekaboo, y'all. It's amazing. And I have another video out for a song I have called Estrela, which means star in Portuguese. But yeah, the album's out. It's been out be a year in January, and I've just been pushing it and having fun with it.
So I always say that I have so much respect for the spoken word artists, rappers, singers, because you ask me to freestyle something or whatever, it's just not in me to do it, you know? So I have so much respect. So what, as an artist, does your motivation come from?
I think a lot of it comes from like what I was saying about just legacy, and also just like seriously wanting to be the best person that I can be and wanting to like fulfill the reasons that God put me here. You know, I don't think that we have just one purpose. I feel like we have many reasons that we're here. And I just want to like, as an artist, like fulfill those. You know, I want people to be touched, you know, by my music. I also want to grow through my music. Like my music is, you know, I've never expressed, this is the first time I've ever even talked about like being a teenage mother on any interview, you know, and I want to be able to express that in my music, you know, and like you were saying, like for people to be inspired and also just feel seen and heard, and like they can get through some of the like the hardest things, you know what I mean? And you know, I write music from a sense of like protection, you know, because of that kind of situation that I went through as a teenager, and self-perseverance. So yeah, sorry, I'm kind of losing sight of the question a little bit, but that's what motivates me, is just like that the legacy I want to like really leave behind, and the things I want to say, and the things I want people to feel, and I want them to say about me when, you know, my life is over.
Has there been a moment as an artist that you had that one moment where you felt like, this is why I'm doing it? I feel the gratification. This is my affirmation. This is the reason why I'm doing it.
I felt that at Maddie, because it was hard. It had its challenges putting that show together. You know, that was the most people I ever had in one, in a band. Like the backgrounds, I think I had a 7-piece or 8-piece band, plus 2 background singers, plus 4 features. Like it was a lot to kind of put all of those hits together. But I feel like when we were actually doing the you know, the show, I think it just came to me like as I was singing, and like I'm not sure what song in particular, but just looking out there and seeing all those people smiling and clapping and just like seeing the diversity, you know, and all the people that are touched by that, like young, older, you know. I've had older people that walk up to me and they're like, they feel good. They felt amazing just seeing it. I've never seen nothing like that. And I have, you know, younger people, you know, people that are teenagers now, that I think that's just a good gift to have, that I'm able to even touch that kind of range of people. And so I just really felt I feel like it was like I made it moment. It really did feel like it felt like that. I'm like, this is all I ever dreamed of. My band is happy. Everybody's good. We're here together. We're having fun, and we're making an impact.
So going back to the band, so you do have a set band, or is it just like depending on the event that you try to get people together?
I mean, so my band, I have a foundation. I always say that I have a foundation. I have core members of my band that are pretty much, when I have a band, they're there. Whether it's 2 of them, all of them, one of them, like I have a core foundation. Shout out to my band, Oda Banga. Shout out to Slim Stickins, Tuck, Kamal, Jeff. Yeah, like I have a foundation. And so depending on what it is, I don't even always call my band out, just depending on, the vibe. Like
Right.
Sometimes we go out there, got our tracks and we about to just rock it. Or
Get it in, yeah.
And me and my husband, we do shows together too, because he plays instruments. So sometimes we just go out there and he has the keyboard and I sing and we make it happen.
Oh, so y'all the modern day Selena.
Yeah, we ain't playing. Selena. I love you, Selena.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up.
We get out here and make it happen.
Hey, I love it. I love it. So I want to talk about, especially from your perspective, other women artists.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, appearance is big.
Yeah.
You want to come out there, look sexy, and you have a lot of great talented artists out there, rappers, singers, etc., that toe the line between looking sexy but then over sexualizing yourself.
Yeah.
Talk about that from your point of view, and just when you see artists, like the Megans, like the Cardis, or like the Sexy Reds. So like I said, talented, amazing artists, but then a lot more, but they're more known for how they look compared to their artistry.
Right.
So talk about that from your point of view, being an artist yourself.
I mean, I think it's definitely like different strokes for different folks. As a woman, I feel like it's almost just like women are beautiful. Women are sexy. We're beautiful. All of that. I definitely feel like there is a fine line, and I personally like to. For me, I like to come at things like in a sense of being sensual, not sexy. Like what I wore for Maddie was more of for comfort, for one, because I knew it would be hot, and I knew I'd be kicking and all kinds of stuff. But also just like, again, read the room, know the play. I wouldn't come out to a festival where I know there's going to be children and all these range of people and to have the most sexy cutout outfit that they, you know what I mean? It almost feels like, to me, inappropriate for that setting. But if the setting is, if it's a club and that's what you want to do, I feel it. I just think just being mindful that, that will fade, and that, it's good to have something sustainable that isn't just about the looks, you know what I mean? But the presence, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's something that Beyonce has. I feel like it's very known. She's beautiful. She's gorgeous, but also her presence, how she presents herself, so that when she is being sexy, you can almost take it more so of a sensual look than being like, ugh, she being like nasty. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I think that that's a beautiful thing. I mean, even when you take somebody like Selena, you know what I mean? I would say that her look was like, she would have her bustier and her jeans, but it's sensual. It's not like, you know what I mean? She's just having her God-given right as a woman to be beautiful. So, yeah.
So pretty much we're going to just let all the people know, all the men, don't expect for Drea Vocalz to feed you a cherry or have a red couch come out on stage and do a number like Chris Brown, huh?
No. I can't do all of that now. But I sing about it. I talk about it. But no, that's a little much. Chris Brown, he be whoa.
She's
Be
like, whoa.
Well, there, yeah.
Yeah, I saw him for the first time when he came in town a few weeks ago. It was an amazing show. So shouts out to him.
I heard it was long. I heard that he put on a 3-hour plus show.
I mean, and shouts out to Bryson Tiller and Summer Walker. But like, he really didn't even need them to open up.
I'm sure he didn't.
Cause like he could even have more songs.
Yeah,
than to do. But 20 years. Just being in the game for that long is amazing,
and not just to be in it that long, but the catalog.
Yes.
I mean, he has. I mean, there's we always joke about this, but me and my husband always joke about that. You can always identify what year it was by the Chris Brown song. It's like, give me a Chris Brown song, I could probably tell you about what I was doing in life when that was playing. Because he got them bops like that,
right?
Which is dope. Like, I have big respect for Chris Brown. I think that he works hard, and it's like clear as day.
And we brought up earlier about adjusting, but talk about for you as an artist having to adjust with the times in regards to how people receive music. We talked about New Music Soul Child and how he was trying to do the whole snap movement, but it didn't really work for him, But talk about you being able to evolve throughout the years as an artist.
And I said this recently, but I was just talking about how like I don't focus on the trends. I try to stay focused on like what feels good to me. Like I'm a 90s girl through and through, all the way down to my boots to my head. Like, and I think one of the most beautiful things about the 90s is that people were just expressive and people just did them. Your shirt have a big collar, hair up to her slanted with a side part, colorful block shirt with the sneakers pants up to your rib cage. Like,
right.
I think that stuff is super dope. And so I try to just like pay attention to what feels good to me, make the music that I like. I know when I make something, I'm like, this sound kind of sound like out of middle school, or, I kind of feel like I just trust myself on that. But, I feel like the best way that I'm able to like make good music is I don't try to make like, all right, well, let me make a trap song tonight. It's like, unless I'm like just in that mood, I'm like, I feel like rapping, you know what I mean? But like, no, I just make stuff that feels good to me and my soul.
So I see this photo here. Just talk about that feeling of having that power when you hold the mic and you're performing.
It does feel like having power, but like, it feels like a big responsibility, but like in the most beautiful way. Like, because I feel like whoever has the mic kind of has the motion in the mood of the room. So it's important that whatever I do on the mic, that I'm like, I'm mindful that this sways the ocean of the room, and how people are feeling. So, man, this was amazing. This was Love in Brazil in March. I was really proud of this. I did this stage design, and just the whole vision of like bringing something tropical to St. Louis. Some people have never seen a beach. I know people that have never seen a beach, and the idea for this show was to just make people feel like they went someplace else, and that felt good. A lot of people felt like they went to like a resort or like, but it's amazing just having that mic and just being able to like sing my heart out on it.
It's funny that you say that, because in regards to going to a beach, but your girl from the Therapeutics, Katara Parsons, just went to Chicago to a beach, and she said they're like her first or second time ever going to a beach.
That's very common in St. Louis. You'd be surprised how many people like haven't really, like, they've been out of town. They might have been in like Chicago or somewhere like local KC, but some people have never been to the coast. They never seen it.
Yeah.
And I think everybody should see the ocean at least once.
Yeah.
You got to at least meet it one time. Like, just because of I don't know. I feel like it puts a lot of things in perspective, like seeing that big old body of water and knowing that you like exist as this, like, we're just something so small compared to the ocean. But yeah, so that was kind of the idea. Like, I just really wanted to bring that here because that inspires people. Like, I had a lot of people like, man, you make me want to travel. And it's good. Traveling is what makes us like have compassion for other people, or just like makes us a little more well-rounded. I think it's important to travel and experience different things. So yeah.
So as we conclude with you as a singer,
Mhm.
performer, what is some advice? And I'm gonna have to look at that camera. What is some advice that you would like to share to others who may have that passion to start up doing it, and maybe even those who are doing it but just need that extra push? What is your advice to them?
My advice would to keep God as your foundation, and it sounds so cliche, but seriously, dig deep into your creation and like listen to the divine wisdom that is already like inside of you, because there will be a lot of noise on the outside to tell you that this is not possible, or that this is out of your lane, but you create the lane. So I would just say continue to create your lane, create don't be afraid to get out of your lane. I don't believe in that whole like you got to stay in your lane. No, there's the highway of life. It goes all over, and so don't be afraid to pivot, and encourage yourself, love yourself, brush your teeth, and and
hygiene is important.
Hygiene is important. Take care of your space so you can think clearly.
I guess the last thing you want to experience is, hey, great show, and then you just walk past them and you like, that's all bad. That's all bad. It doesn't matter how good you look. If you smell like that, I don't care if you Beyonce or Halle Berry. No.
Yeah, and it's about to get cold. Get that Vaseline on them knuckles. You know what I'm saying? But yes, take care of yourself, and you'll see fruit from even just like take care of your autonomy and your being, your soul.
So has singing led to you not having a 9-to-5 anymore?
Yeah, in a lot of ways. Yeah. Especially in the last like 2 years.
Really?
Yeah. The opportunities have been more grand. I've become a better businesswoman because, I think for the longest, I didn't really look at what I do as, I knew I was in the music business, but I'm like, it really dawned on me in the last like 3 years, like this, I am a business. This is a business.
You a brand.
Yes, I am a brand. I am a business. I'm the product and all of those things. So, I think that I've become a better businesswoman in just where, when I do something, where I do it, and the intention behind why I'm doing it. I definitely say no if it doesn't feel right, or, if I feel like it's just not aligned. I try to stay just where does it feel aligned? You know what I mean? Like this right here is aligning. So yeah. I just try to stay aligned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And talk about that feeling of realizing that, hey, I don't have to work for someone else anymore in regards to a 9-to-5, to a company who can replace you just like that.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about that feeling that you had of that rewarding feeling that you had, realizing that now I can go ahead and step away from the 9-to-5 and start doing the things that I'm more passionate about. Because I'm very big on, if you give a job who don't really care about you 100%, but then you don't give 120% to what you love to do. So talk about that feeling of knowing that you can go ahead and leave that 9-to-5.
I mean, it feels good. It's a double-edged sword, because when you don't have a 9-to-5, and for me, luckily, I have a partner to we work together to support our home. But also, like, when you don't have a 9-to-5, that means that you have to be a little more mindful when you do have get money. You have to make sure that you're mindful where you're placing this money. And I'm an employer now. Like, I employ people, and when as a boss, I have to make sure that things allow me to make sure that everybody in my camp, if not what they deserve, has something from this they can show, and to contribute to their families and their homes. So it's a beautiful thing, but it's also difficult because I have to be mindful of what I'm doing, and does this align with not just for me, but the people that I employ, the people that are looking to me for the next opportunity, because it's not just my dream. And I've realized that too. This is not just my dream anymore, and I love that. Actually really do love that for me, because I love being able to to put people that I care about or people that I know in a position to do what they love to do. You know, I don't have it all. I don't have like the I'm not, you know, not stumping with the big dogs yet, but like I love that there's trust, that there are people that trust me to do what I'm supposed to do so that they can make way for the things that they want to do.
Do you feel that we're in an era where now you're seeing more women be more of the breadwinner, be more of the CEOs, be more of on top than ever before?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Women are doing amazing things, like and rightfully so. Like, you know, I feel like any group that's suppressed for so long, you know, when they finally kind of reach that point where we can, you know, do what we want, I'm really proud of what women are doing. I just think it's important to also remember that we're all on this planet together, that men are still valuable to women and women are valuable to men. And I think that's something that I like to talk about in my music. As I like to talk about love. I like to talk about on my last album just about being a woman, and that sometimes we get on our men nerves. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we be wrong, we be tripping, you know, and I like to talk about that in my music because it's important to realize that it's like it takes two to tango, you know, it takes two to make it work. And I hope to see more relationships flourish and more families flourish. And I hope to see, like I said, even if people don't stay together forever, I would love to see more intentional love, people being in love intentionally, you know, not just for the fun or the thrill of being in love, because love is work. But yeah, I love like singing about that stuff. And yeah.
Yeah, I agree, man. Like I said, y'all have definitely, ladies are taking over. Fellas, don't be ashamed, man. Just support.
Yeah, for real. Support your woman.
You know what I'm saying? Don't be in the way and hating. Support, show love, and be like, what can I do to help you out to even be even bigger and better? What can we do together? Yeah,
and women, don't be afraid. You know, don't get me wrong. There's some busters out here that's like, nah, you can't, but it's okay to, like, when you find a real partner, somebody that you can really grow with, to support them both ways. Because, you know, it's just like, as a woman, you may need support, or you may need, you know, a little uplifting, or you may need that investment from your man or your partner. And they might need that from you. But I don't think that I don't think it should be anything to where like one person is taking care of the other and the other person is not, you know what I mean? Of course, I'm not talking about anything like that. But I just like to keep in mind that God he made us for a reason. There's a reason why that, you know, he just made women and men for a reason. We all have like strengths that we just have to figure out how to work together with. But I'm proud of women. I'm proud to be a woman, to be a boss, and to even be able to be one. At this time is amazing.
Love it. Now, going back to you as a mother, you brought up earlier that teenage mom. Talk about the struggles of having to multitask, or, you know, you're in high school, you're trying to be a normal high school student, but once you had, of course, you know, a child, that normal went out the way. And like you said before, you could have easily just came into the mindset of, yep, I'm just another statistic, But talk about the adversity of having to navigate mother and student.
I mean, it was definitely challenging. It definitely, like, I would go to school during the day, and then I would get off out of school, walk up to the McDonald's up the street, and work from like 3 to like 11. And that was like for the remaining the last 2 years of high school, which was hard, but wow. Oh God. Lord. Oh my gosh. Yeah, y'all. So that's me at like 16.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? With my little pixie Maxine braids. Yes. But yeah,
about to set it off.
But it was difficult, and I think I'm very honored to have mothered children at a time where I didn't even think that I could. I really do feel proud of myself in the sense that when when my life went left and was spiraling out of control, that my babies were a blessing, and it never felt like a deterrence for me, even though everybody else, people around me used to make me feel like, this meant like my life was over, or I wouldn't be able to achieve this, or this is now this is the path that you have to take now that you have kids. And so I feel good that despite that I believed in myself, and that that I'm talking about, like, my kids inspire me so much. Like, it makes me really emotional, just like, a lot of what I went through, they didn't have to necessarily witness it, and I'm really proud of how a lot of that situation, how I did deal with it, and to a point where, I got out of that horrible situation I was in with their father, and, kind of moved forward and, brought stability to their lives. Like, I'm really proud of the life I've built for them, and the opportunities they have, and the kind of kids that they are.
Talk about the perception or possibly support maybe that you've gotten from family, like your parents or your friends or others. Because, sometimes in life, certain things that happen in life can't really show the true colors of family, friends, associates, etc. So when your parents or your friends knew about you having a child at a young age, how were you perceived?
I think that in a lot of ways, like a hopeless case. Honestly, I feel like in some ways I was perceived like I wasn't that same intelligent girl. I wasn't the same girl that was getting those straight A's in school, or I wasn't that girl that had these gifts and talents. Like, I was only that. I really do feel like that that being a child, having kids, that was the perception, which is why I wasn't very close to a lot of people in high school. A lot of people that I'm close to now from high school, like, we've been solid since high school, but that's only like 4 or 5 people. I'm sorry. What was?
Oh, no.
Yeah,
take your time.
Yeah,
That's
it's
all
a deep
good.
conversation.
Yeah. Just being perceived, and did you get a lot of support?
Yeah, I think it came in its spurts. Was it always there? No. But I definitely feel like I was always loved. I feel like I was always loved and cared for through those tough times. I feel like my parents did the best that they could. My parents were young when they had me. Their parents were young when they had them. So that's, now you're dealing with like a generational, they call it generational curse, but I don't call it that anymore because it stops here with me. But they did the best that they could. They were still very, very young. My dad was my age now when I had my first child. Like, I made him like, me as a grandma right now, it's like, what? Like, that's crazy. Yeah. So now that I'm older and I have this perspective, I definitely know that whatever support I didn't feel like I got as a teenager, that was just my perspective as a teenager. My parents did the very best that they could, and I feel like based on like the results of now, they did a good job. Despite the circumstances.
Yeah, still be able to push on. So that's what's up. So that was the parenting portion. Of Smoooth Conversations. I'll go ahead.
Also, I'll say being parents of teenagers now is wild.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Yeah. Like, it's mind blowing.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be at the end. It's going to be rewarding.
It is. It is now,
and especially during these times, doing social media, this and that. Yeah, it's just very important that we continue to. And I said this to my guest last week, Good Brotherlism. How it's important to be a parent and not be the girlfriend, best friend, homie. We have to stick to being parents, especially during these times.
Yeah, more than ever, and monitoring and keeping tabs on what's going on. What are you ingesting? What are you watching? What are you listening to? Because the devil be busy, and it's all over the net. There's a lot of positivity out there too, but it just has to be molded and guided.
Right. Yeah. Most definitely. So going back, you brought up the divorce of your parents. when that happened, and as you was getting older, you seeing that and living through that, did that affect your mindset in wanting to be married?
Yeah, but it kind of, I think it was the reason for like my situation. It kind of made me like want to like right the wrong like so fast, like as a kid, you know what I mean? Like, okay, well, I'm, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to, not that I did it on purpose, but you know what I'm saying? Well, I'm going to have a family and we're going to do it this way. And you know, all of that. It definitely, I think now impacts the way I view like marriage and unity. And I really view marriage as a walk. Like it's a walk with God. It's something that two people have to choose. You got to choose every day. And, you know, again, my parents were young. I don't blame them for it. They were extremely young when they got married and extremely young when they got divorced. And that's just the crazy thing about being a kid is that you don't see any of that. You just in your mind and your emotions. But it's impacted me to just take family. I take family very serious. And legacy very serious.
So with that being said, talk about this moment right here.
Oh yeah, my wedding day. See, I still have my locks. We both had our locks. We grew our hair out together, which was dope. Yeah, that day was amazing. I didn't get to eat my food that day. Whoever.
Let me tell you. All right, so with me, and my wife, now we did eat, but unfortunately, so we had this huge velvet cake. We couldn't even get one slice.
Not even a slice?
Because we were so busy, you know, just doing us, trying to, you know what I'm saying, talk to other people, you know, do this, do dancing, whatever it was. But we just really forgot about eating and that's my favorite flavor.
Red velvet.
I love red velvet cake.
That's a good
one. It was
one.
like 3 or 4 sheets. It was nice.
Yeah.
And it's like the end of the night, and we're like, oh my God, we didn't even get no velvet cake.
See, it's vice versa for me. So for one, I had like 3 people that were supposed to go on my plate because people were you know, it's your wedding day. People are insisting on pictures, you know. So I didn't really get to eat my food. So my husband, he got to get his down, get his plate in. He said it was fire. I believe him. But we had cake and cupcakes, and we did not even want cake and cupcakes. We're not really cake people. And at the end of the night, we ended up throwing away a 3-tier cake because nobody else wanted a slice, and we don't eat cake.
Wow.
Yeah, that's wild.
But now, so tell me, how did y'all cross paths?
So he used to throw these parties with his best friend. They have this collective called the Indigo Tribe, and he used to throw these parties. And I didn't know him at all, but I had seen his, like, I don't know if it was like an album work, not necessarily album work, but he had this animation out that was like circling, like an animated picture of him. But I had seen it around in the community. I just didn't know who he was. So we have a mutual friend. His name is Shim, and he invited me out to this kickback. And I came to the kickback. I really didn't want to go. I was kind of just like in a funky mood that night, which was crazy. I wasn't in a best mood.
God works in mysterious ways.
Because I was like, man, I don't know. But I ended up going. And it turned out it was an open mic at the event. Like they had it at their house, at their loft, but it was like an open mic thing. So I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So I got on I was trying to get on the open mic list. And his best friend was just not trying to hear me. Like I had been literally following this dude because I was dead serious. And this is like the beginning of like me like really getting out here. I was like following him around like, hey, I'm trying to get your attention, yo. Yeah. I want to get on this open mic list. And he just kept like blowing me off. Like, I don't know you, whatever. So I ended up going, my husband was behind the DJ booth, and I ended up going to him just like, hey, I've been trying to get on the open mic list. And he was just so kind. It was like completely the opposite. And shout out to my boy, because like, if you see this, he was cool, but he was blowing me off like, look, little mama, I don't know what you're trying to do, but we ain't, nah.
This ain't it.
All right. I got something to do. So, he was just super kind and whatever, helped me get my music up, helped me get my my song on the list or whatever. I did the performance. He performed, which I was really impressed by his performance. And I'm not easily impressed by performances. It's just because like I like to see things as like, whoa, now that was like really cool. As far as just like emotion, I don't even got to be like the theatrics, but just more so just like performing. So I was really impressed by his performance, but it was like no sparks like that. I left the party and I ended up leaving my flash drive. And like back then, like flash drive was your everything, all your music. Like you even said, I gave you that was probably the same flash drive.
Yeah.
And so I was carrying around that flash drive. I left it and he was like, hey, you left your flash drive. I had to go get it. And when I went to go get it, he opened the door and we started talking and we talked at the door for like 30, 40 minutes. I don't even know how that happened. We just was talking and talking and talking. And I don't think either one of us like knew that there was something like that yet. But later on, we ended up collaborating on this song called Limitless. And I think that over time, and this, I love that it was a gradual thing, but over time, I think we just kind of started feeling each other. And yeah, he asked me, like, hey, like, I want to be together. And I was like nervous, like, I don't know. But I was like, all right, let's try it. And we've been together ever since.
And how many years now?
It'll be 10 years. We've been together next July, but we've been married for 6 years.
Hey, now.
Yeah.
That's what's up. And I think my boy, Sadar the Selector was the DJ.
Sadar. Yeah. That's my dog. Yeah. We had nothing but family in the room. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Therapeutics was there too.
Talk about that feeling of having that person that you have prayed for and now you have it.
I think that is, first of all, like, thank God. I'm so grateful at a time where there's a struggle for love in the world to have it. It's also a responsibility and it's also work. And it's more reason, again, just to stay connected and grounded in God and grounded in faith. But I'm grateful. I feel like everything else a little easier. You know what I mean? Like, I have my times where I'm not all the way happy with like my career, or I'm not all the way happy with myself. I'm not all the way happy with whatever it is in the world, but it's nice to have somebody that's living this with you and through this with you, that it's like the firsthand witness to your life. Is like really cool, So when he tells me he's proud of me, it's on a whole nother weight because he's seen the struggle too. Like there's some people that they only see the triumph, but he's seen the trials. And so it's a beautiful thing. Like I wouldn't trade it for the world. I definitely think getting married is a big step. And I always encourage people to, get counseling and make sure, just you can only know so much until you do it, of course. But, just make sure that y'all have I feel like what am I trying to say? A common goal. You know what I mean? I feel like we have a common goal of like the legacy we want to set forth and just the kind of people we want to be in the world, being a light in the world. So it's beautiful.
I love it. So once again, this is Smoooth Conversations, where the conversations are always smooth. We here at the radio station, KBDR Beat District Radio, got the very talented and I thank you for this bit, but transparent Drea Vocalz tonight, as you said before, that you don't talk about certain things, and you did tonight. So I definitely appreciate that. This has been once again a great conversation. So this moment of the show is brought to you by Smoooth Moments. Need some photography, videography, some amazing aerial drone services. Like maybe I can get Drea to get at me about some future events and I can capture some aerial footage or whatever. Sir. Collaboration.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Making things happen like that. So let's go ahead and get it in. This part of the show is Smoooth Moments. As you seen earlier, I've done my research and wanted to just get some things that I saw, some photos, some moments that I feel like you would appreciate, and just want to get your feeling of what you went through, during those times. So with that being said, when you see this person, this little girl, what would you say to her right now?
Oh, I was 15 right there. I would tell her to keep smiling just like that. And I would just like want to tell her, I just would want to hug her and just let her know that like in the end it's all okay. Like she's good. She's cool. She's fashionable. Her bangs are nice, you know.
The bangs.
The bangs. Yeah. It's crazy looking at these photos because I used to, you know, when you're a teenager, you feel so like hideous. It's weird. You feel so awkward and just like yuck. And then when I look back, I'm like, look at me. I was just all in your head, girl. You was okay. You was doing all right.
Now this photo here, talking about looking sexy.
Oh my God. And there's another fedora. Lord, make it stop. Yeah. Yeah, and it's crazy. I remember this day. I was listening to Boys to Men super hard. I was listening to their what song was it? Whatever album has I'll Make Love to You, the Water Runs Dry, On Bended Knee, whatever that album is, I was bumping that heavy this day.
Yesterday, I love that song.
Yeah.
That's, to me, it's probably their best album right there.
Yeah, that's why I had this picture. I probably was in a real neo soul moment right here that's been captured.
Okay.
Yeah, same day. That's crazy. And I had an Echo Red shirt on. That's wild. Yeah. Cutie pie.
Cute pie. Uh-oh. Let's see. Let me do this real quick.
No.
Yeah. So once again, smooth moments, just highlighting certain moments that I just want to go ahead and talk about real quick. Talk about this photo right here.
That's my baby sister. That shout out to my sister. She gonna be like, why? She gonna see this picture and be like, I already know. But she looks so cute. That's my baby sister. We're super close. We're 6 years apart, but I feel like we always talk about like we got a really good sister relationship. Like I hate being upset with my sister and she doesn't like being upset with me. Like when we have our little, whatever, like you getting on my nerves, we just separate, we come back because like we just need each other.
Yeah.
That's my girl.
How many siblings?
I have 4 brothers.
Wow.
I have 4 brothers. I have 4 siblings. I have 3 brothers and 1 sister, and I'm the oldest.
Wow. So talk about that feeling.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, yeah, the pressure's on when you're the oldest. You like the guinea pig, but yeah, it's cool. I've always been super protective of all my siblings. They know that they can count on me to, they can hit me up or, I feel like that's what made me a good mother is having like siblings. So
doing shows, do you see them out there?
Yeah, my sister actually came and filmed for Maddie. Like she works on cruise ships, so she's not always home.
Okay.
Yeah, she's not always home. She does photography on cruises.
I might have a plug.
Yeah. She does the photography on cruise ships and she does other things too. But yeah, whenever she's in town, she's at my shows like to support me. At the Love in Brazil, she was only in town for maybe a few days or maybe it was just a week, but she always comes to my shows.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this one.
Oh yeah, that was my graduation day, which felt so good because that is an 18-year-old with 2 babies that graduated from high school with a honors diploma. So I'm very proud of that.
That's what's up. And it's always good to have those moments of feeling rewarded. Mm-hmm. Because I think it's so important, especially nowadays, that these kids need to feel the results of working, of hard work, and then accomplishing. Yeah. And seeing that reward.
Yeah, that felt good. That felt like an accomplishment, for sure.
All right, so this one here, I was like, okay, she just out here just showing out for this special day.
Oh Lord, I'm scared. Oh my gosh. Oh God, help us all. Help us, Jesus.
Tell everyone what night this was.
That was prom night. I regret that makeup and dress and all of that. It was prom night. It was cool, but yeah, fashion was just different at that time.
Yes, it was.
My God, thank God we've come into a new era of fashion.
But yeah, I saw this photo, then it made me think about my prom, and I need to like go to an adult prom or something because
I would love to. I want to go to more formal events. Yeah, I want to dress up.
Yeah, mine wasn't the best experience, man.
Man, mine was whack.
Yeah.
We ain't got to talk about it though.
Yeah, it's a part 2,
yeah,
y'all.
it's a part 2 because we don't even got to go to that place.
Woo, yeah, so yeah, like I said, we'll say that for later. I'll just say that I definitely need to redo that one because
for sure.
Yeah, it just wasn't it. Talk about being a daddy's girl.
Oh, I am a daddy's girl. It's my that's my OG. I was talking about, I was on Fox too, and I was just talking about how I used to roll around with my dad listening to because I didn't really get into hip hop on my own until I was like an adult. I always been a big R&B baby, and my dad used to play like gangster rap and Ice Cube, Ice-T, and Spice One and Black Lacquer, all that stuff. But I didn't really get into it on my own. But I really do appreciate him like making sure I like had those roots, like Tupac. I love Tupac, and that's my dude, yo. He be looking out. He be really looking out. My parents are A1. I can't even deny it. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what's up, man. So shout out to your father and to your mom.
Yeah, shout out to my mama. Because if I don't shout her out, mama, I love you, mama. Shout out to my mama because I didn't shout her out last time. She was upset. Shout out to my mama for having me. All right.
There you go. Gotta make sure we show love, man. So this photo here, man, just talk about the feeling. Once again, you mentioned about being on. I mentioned earlier or asked you about just you being on stage, you doing your thing. It's a feeling. But I saw this photo and I was like, man, this is like a powerful one that I really liked. And just talk about the feeling of this photo right here.
Oh, man. Yeah, that was phenomenal. Like, I have no words. I really don't even know how to describe. I just feel like I ascended. I feel like something that felt spiritual. That felt like singing. That whole performance felt like singing a gospel song. Like the whole thing felt like very just like, and you know what's crazy? There was a point when I was performing that I kind of felt like I was going to pass out.
Really?
Because it was just really, really hot. And I guess like, cause I had eaten and I had water, but I don't think I drank enough water. And, I had to call on the Lord just to help, just help me kind of stay up. Cause I had been given so much. I gave so much energy. But yeah, this photo, like this time period is going to be in my mind forever. Like, I'm really proud of what we did there.
What is the most rewarding feeling of being a artist?
I think it's just how it makes other people feel. Like, I'm really inspired by how people feel when they hear something of mine or something I said on stage, or just even, I think sometimes just seeing me and seeing how hard I work, I think that's the most rewarding thing is how people receive me, and just the encouragement I get. It's just like, it's mind blowing to even bring like, there was one of my peers who was also an artist. And this is why I say like women, we definitely can't afford to be like hating on each other. We need each other. But one of my peers who I respect, she's amazing. She saw my performance and it brought her to tears because she just felt so inspired, and she knows that it's not easy, to put together something like that. And so, just her just pouring on me, and just like I said, her being my peer. And it's like, we do the exact same thing, but for you to pour on me like this and even show up at my show, like that's
right.
Man, that's the best feeling.
Yeah, I know it has to be, man. And it's like, for me as a DJ, it's gratifying. Even doing photography, videography, content, whatever it is, it's always just a great feeling that if I do something and people say, man, thank you for doing that. Yeah. Like, man, you shot the right angle, or you captured this for me and made it happen, or you allow me to just be myself. Yeah. I always like to have that feeling of whatever I'm doing, you can not even worry about what's going on outside of the world or whatever it is, and you just focus on the moment. Yeah. It's just such an important feeling to have,
and that's a good gift to even pull people into the moment. Yeah. With so many distractions, so that's amazing.
It is. And what's been amazing has been you
thank
on
you.
Smoooth Conversations. Definitely been an honor, Before we wrap things up, the name, why Drea Vocalz?
So growing up, a lot of people used to always comment on how like I had this little body and this big voice.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of where the vocals came from, because it's just like my projection and just being able, just like they always, well, you have such a little body and this big old voice. People still say that to this day, or like they'll see me and they'll be like, I thought you would be taller, and I'll be like, okay, sorry, but yeah,
okay.
So the vocals is just really from the power of like my voice, or just like kind of like an Alicia Keys, John Legend kind of. That's kind of like the feeling of where it came from.
And then let's take away the performer, the artist, the daughter, the sister, the sibling, the mother. Who is Drea Vocalz?
Drea is a goofy kind of country girl, real down to earth. She's just a girl that's just like trying to do the very best she can with this one human body and these 2 hands and 2 feet, to just be all she can be in the world. You know, I'm really a simple person, like, and I'm really like, I really have been just falling in love, like with just like being alive and just like with life. So Drea is just, that's just it. I mean, I love God. I love my life. I love where it's going, and I'm looking forward to it. So yeah.
And I love that for you. And, you know, just continue to do what you do. You use that passion to continue to just motivate yourself, others.
Yeah.
Because as you brought up earlier, you know, it's not just about you.
Yeah.
You know, you have people who are dependent on you and you know, respect you. So continue just to use the gifts that God has given you.
Yeah.
And with that being said, did you have any special shout outs? Look at that camera right there.
Yeah. Shout out to the mix. Shout out to my band. Shout out to my husband. Shout out to the Gold Giraffe. Shout out to the Kransberg Arts Foundation for us finishing what was an amazing residency. And shout out to y'all that have like tuned in. Shout out to all my fans and supporters, the people that like pour into me, listen to my music, buy their tickets for the shows. Like, oh my goodness, like I'm always in awe just to see that y'all like really go hard for me. So, you know, shout out to them. Shout out to y'all.
There we go. Yeah. And with that being said, everyone, that is another edition of Smoooth Conversations, where the conversations are always smooth. Brought to you by Smooth Moments. Need some photography, videography, drone services? Let's make it happen. For those listening right now on Beat District Radio, go to smoothproductions.com, smooth with 3 O's. And I got you covered for those watching. Of course, you had the QR code. You can go ahead and scan that as well. Make sure that you also hit up Beat District Radio. If you want to have an ad or sponsorship, just email us info@beatdistrictradio.com. Once again, Smooth Conversations, where the conversations are always smooth. Like, subscribe right now on YouTube. I need everyone to get them numbers up for your boy so we can let the world know what they are missing at this moment. Also, you can also check out beatdistrictradio.com. Check out all the shows. Check out what we're going to be doing for the community very soon. And just be amazed at the wonderful website, beatdistrictradio.com. Also download the app on Google Play, App Store. Amazing app, high definition. Our voices sound so sexy. Yeah. And it's just amazing. So once again, spread the word, show love, Smooth Conversations, where the conversations are always smooth. Y'all have a great rest of y'all evening. And matter of fact, tune in to another great live show next Thursday.
What you have just experienced was brought to you by Smoooth Productions. Until next time, stay tuned and stay smooth.